Hey everyone, and welcome back to another SEO Melbourne digital marketing podcast. In this episode, we'll be focusing on trends that we can see that have started to emerge in SEO in 2021 and why it's so important to get onto them. We'll be going through topics including AI algorithms that Google have started using, such as MUM, Rankbrain, and Knowledge Graph, why you should be focusing on video and podcast content, touching on core web vitals, and also mobile SEO. Stay tuned to find out how you can utilize these emerging trends to your advantage. The first algorithm we'll be looking at is Google's Multitask Unified Model, referred to as MUM, which is an AI-powered algorithm that can interpret images, podcasts, and videos to gain information currently in 75 different languages. This helps Google to better understand the content and search intent. This will benefit SEO in the future, as Google will be able to focus on other media, not only text, such as high-quality content across all formats such as images, video, and audio. This provides SEO the opportunity to potentially evolve to include more than just keywords alone, but other forms of media such as images, videos, and audio files. The inclusion of all these different types of media allows websites to take advantage of MUM's multimodal capabilities. Google MUM allows for a comprehensive understanding of information that will help better interpret complex search queries in their specific context. Other than being able to interpret information across different languages, MUM can also reply in natural conversations to people that query in the search engine, bringing Google closer to the human conversational search experience and delivering the best possible user experience. This is really exciting, as an article that you might have written for your own website could be read by someone on the other side of the world, by someone who speaks a completely different language than you do. The next AI algorithm we're going to be looking at is Rankbrain. Rankbrain is an algorithm utilized by Google to sort search results, whilst also helping Google to comprehend the search query. Rankbrain is something every SEO specialist has to take into consideration, as Google has stated that it is Google's third most important ranking signal, which is quite significant. So here I'll show you an example of Rankbrain in action. If I were to Google Italian plumber Nintendo game, you can see that the first result here is the Wikipedia page for Mario. So how did Google know this is what I was looking for if Mario wasn't included in my search query? Well, Rankbrain actually tries to figure out what I meant by my query, and then using keywords Google has seen before, it has provided me with the results it believes is most relevant. The final area of AI we'll be covering is Knowledge Graph. Essentially, Google uses automation to handle searches and improve search algorithms, and one way this is done is through Google's Knowledge Graph, which is filled with billions of facts on various people, places, and things. Facts that are often categorized into entities cover everything from niche topics to public interest topics, such as medicine and science. Overall, there are more than 5 billion entities and over 500 billion facts on the graph. An additional impact that the Google Knowledge Graph can have on SEO involves answering questions from the user. Google will always look at the pre-existing knowledge in its graph before checking the open web, which shrinks traditional organic advertisement. So here I'll show you an example of Google's Knowledge Graph in action. If I Google world famous director Christopher Nolan, you can see that there is not only the normal search results that come up, but additionally this informative box to the right, which provides a plethora of information on Nolan, including movies that he's previously directed, books that he's associated with, and a little background snippet into him as well. So what does this all mean for SEO? Essentially, as AI becomes smarter at recognizing information and content throughout a page, it is more important than ever to be producing high quality, rich content that is providing information that is valuable and beneficial to your community and users. Algorithms such as Google MUM, Rankbrain, and Knowledge Graph are all in place for the user to receive the information that they are searching for as quick and easy as possible. People will essentially stop writing articles for the algorithm and start writing them for people. Podcasts. Although not new in popular culture, they're gaining recognition in the SEO world. As text and video are becoming fiercely competitive, only a small amount of companies are diving into this podcast market as an alternative option for consumption. A podcast is a series of audio recorded episodes centered around a theme or topic and are an innovation in the SEO landscape. Another recent advancement, which is an extremely valuable tool for SEO podcasts, are transcriptions. Google are now transcribing podcast episodes as a means of metadata. Using transcriptions as content metadata will not only make your podcast more searchable, but from an SEO standpoint provides more options to include keywords, which will appear in relevant search results, and further elevate ranking within the SERPs. This will essentially heighten the level of discoverability and build on your audience through search traffic. Because Google is now able to index podcast content through transcripts, the argument that text has more value due to it being seen as indexable content is now deemed irrelevant. The final section I'd like to touch on is core web vitals. I won't go through this topic in too much detail as our previous podcast was based around this, but it's still an imperative part of the emerging trends as it gives us an insight into exactly what Google is looking for on a website and what they reward. A crucial part of this I will bring up again is regarding mobile SEO. When users are browsing the internet, a study shows that 70% of the time they are on their mobile phones. This is a substantial percentage that definitely cannot be overlooked. Google has stated that pages' search engine result will be negatively impacted if the pages cannot be easily viewed and interacted with on a mobile device. It's also crucial to ensure that there are no intrusive interstitials, such as annoying pop-up ads, that may create an undesirable navigation experience for users. Alright, well that about wraps it up for today. Thank you for watching our podcast about emerging trends within the SEO world. And be sure to check out the links provided below, which include a bit more information on the topics that we've touched on today. If you have any further questions, feel free to leave a comment below. Thanks for your time.